Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Locker Room Podcast at the Midtown Cafe. I'm here with my boy Johnny. Johnny, we're back here again.
Hey, another week, another podcast, man. I'm so excited about this. People have been saying how much they've been enjoying it, so what else should we do? Bring them another show.
We got our guests in the house. Who is our guest?
Okay, first off, of course, we have our head coach, Terry Sims.
Simbo, Terry Sims in the house. Is he kin to Billy Sims? No, we ain't gonna go there.
And then we have, what you call him? You call him what, the playmaker?
The playmaker from Tea Time.
We have Marcus Riley in the house, and also a gentleman who puts his hand on the ground and gets dirty in those trenches, Mr. Reginald Pearson.
Mr. Pearson. But before we get started, we want to honor a young man who lost his life yesterday from Daytona Beach, Mr. Ray Murphy. This show is dedicated to the late Ray Murphy and his family. Ray worked at the city of Daytona. He worked at the stadium. Everybody knew him, a humble guy. He passed away, and I'm still in shock from the news. But we're going to do this podcast, and we're going to honor Ray tonight.
Yeah, condolences to Ray and his family. We pray for you. You're in our thoughts and our prayers. And just know that the goal at this point in time is to keep living in his honor. And so we love you, and this show is for you.
Okay, we're going to bring up our first guest. Our first guest tonight. Oh! No, you know what? We got to sell some tickets. Let's sell some tickets then.
All right. So of course, this cannot happen without you, without our viewers. So we have a favor, of course, to ask of you. Number one, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Locker Room Podcast. Remember, it's the Locker Room Podcast on YouTube. You can also like and follow us on Facebook, on the Locker Room, IG, the Locker Room, and Twitter, _Locker Room. Now, this is one thing, right? We tell people that this is a show for the community, so we want to hear your voice. You can also email us at thelockerroom@gmail.com and get your questions answered about Bethune Cookman athletics and what's just happening in general in the community at Daytona Beach.
I got some of the questions in my hand too.
Okay, we're gonna see.
Mm-hmm. So our first guest, like you introduced him a little bit, big boy, defensive tackle, D lineman, nasty. We're going to bring him in. He's a 6'3", 290-pound senior out of Montgomery, Alabama. The Gump. Let's bring on Mr. Reginald Pearson.
Running out the locker room, running out the locker room, we running out the locker room, running out the locker room. I'm laced up and we keep it real. I'ma put my cleats on and I'ma meet you on the field. Cause we running out the locker room, running out the locker room, we running out the locker room.
Ladies and gentlemen, what number do you wear, Reginald? You got to talk to the mic. Number 57 in your program is Reginald Pearson. Reginald is a down lineman. He's 6'3", 290 pounds. How much you weigh today? You just had dinner, right?
About 310.
Ooh, about 310. Okay. Reginald, you came from Georgia Military. Tell us about your experience at Georgia Military.
Georgia Military, it humbled me and made me grow up in a lot of ways. I was immature. I appreciate everything that it taught me, from being in the right place at the right time, as far as academics, school, just football. It taught me how to be a man in many aspects of life.
Tell the alumni and everybody watching in the Wildcats, what's your major at BCU?
My major is interdisciplinary studies. It's a wide variety major, and I plan to use it to probably go coaching one day.
Florida is a hotbed for athletes,
yes, sir. But
you're from the state where all the football players are now from, Alabama.
Yes,
Tell
sir.
us about how you got to Bethune-Cookman from Montgomery.
I got to Bethune-Cookman from Montgomery. I went to JUCO out of high school. Didn't have any offers out of high school. And when I got to JUCO, I was playing pretty well. Coach Sam, Coach Lucas, they started recruiting me out of JUCO. I had other offers, but they never pressured me into a commitment. They just told me, hey, we can use you. We can use you down here. We need you. And they always just stuck by my side, and they just never pressured me. So I felt at home when I came down here and visited, so it was pretty good.
You know, we grade film, Johnny and I, and that's how you got on this show.
Yes, sir.
Because you played well against South Carolina State, and that was a great play that you did. That you came in and you psyched the quarterback. You had 1.1 sack on the season, and I think that probably got you going, didn't it?
Yes, sir. It definitely did. It definitely did. Just going throughout the week, just going through game film, playing preparation through the week. Coach put me in the right position, and I just was able to make the play.
Jay.
So, what is the thing that gets you motivated to play this game week in and week out?
Like Coach Sims say, there's only one motivation: winning. You hitting another man every day, all day. The only thing you want to do is win. So you just try to go out there every day and attack the day and win.
You also have with that sack a tackle for loss for about 10 yards and whatnot. So what has been the thing that has helped you since you've been here to elevate your game to the next level?
My first season was last season. I had came in. I didn't play as well or up to my full potential. I had to take a back seat and see the actual work I had to put in. Had to come in. I was a little bit overweight. Had to come in, slim down. I slimmed down. I'm playing way better, quicker on my feet, just way more active.
What was the thing that when you were sitting out, like what is that thing that switch, that flip? There's like, you know what? I can't do the same thing that I've been doing.
I have a family that's well known in football. You know, they all made a name for themselves. So I wanted to make my own name. You know, I don't want to just sit and take a ride and just say I went to college to play football. I got to be different. I got to try to take it to the next level.
What are the plans after your college career is over?
After college career, everybody aspires to go to the NFL, but I really want to make it there, and not only make it there, but be there for a good while, and then later on in life, maybe start coaching.
So with coaching, what is something that when you get into your coaching career, because we're not going to say if, we're going to say when,
Yes.
When you get into your coaching career, what are some of the things that you will take from being at this program and install and apply to when you become a head coach?
Things that I take, Coach Sam shows a lot to us. He's more than just a coach. He advocates and helps us on and off the field. Like whatever we need, if it's anything, we need to talk about anything, he always stick his neck out for us, as long as we're doing the right things. So I'll just be more of that and try to be more companion than anything.
Most memorable play that you made?
The most memorable play. It has to be the sack.
But you raked him too, boy.
Yes,
You raked it. They actually had to go back and view that to see if it was targeted. And you hit him just on the logo of his jersey.
It wasn't targeted. I saw it. It was a clean hit. You stood him straight up, and that was it. Just so you know, I saw it. You was good, man.
I actually didn't know they were trying to get me for targeting until I heard the ref say there was no targeting after a while. So it was a surprise to me.
See,
You know, we play in the SWAC, and a lot of the teams that we play against, they have some huge offensive linemen. What do you do to keep your weight up? Because you guys in that sun and you're on the turf, and we know the cafeteria is not serving steak every night. How do you keep your weight up? You eat potato chips at night or what?
I'm blessed with two wonderful parents that take care of me. So as long as I'm doing the right things on and off the field, they can take care of me. I make sure I eat good. I'm in the weight room. We in there heavy, so I got to make sure I lift a lot because, like you said, I'm fighting against huge guys every week in, week out.
Talk about your parents. I'm a grandfather. Talk about your parents.
My parents, they're wonderful. I'm blessed. Like I said, they're from a small town, Silas, Alabama. My mom, she's actually from Silas. My dad, he's from Gibbertown. They've been together since middle school, high school sweethearts. They've been all the way through college. So they got married, had me and my 3 other siblings, and it's been a blessing just growing up and a great blessing on.
Let's talk about some X's and O's. What's your favorite defense to play in?
My favorite defense to play in is a 4-3 or a 4-2 what we in now, because it singles, it allows the 4-man front to get there. As long as you got guys that being active with their hands and their feet and getting separation, want to be dogs, you can get there with a 4-man front. You
played against the number 16 team in the country and the reigning HBCU national champions the first 2 games. How has those 2 games and those guys you played against elevated your game?
to never play down to a low level competition. Always playing to a high level competition. People are always watching what you're doing. So it's always about your attitude on and off the field, how you carry yourself. So you always have to play to a high level.
The first time you came to Daytona, what was your impression?
The first time I came to Daytona, it was different. I'm a country boy from Alabama, so seeing all the beach, palm trees, it was different. The sand everywhere, had to get used to it. It was nice and sunny out here, pretty hot.
Okay, Alabama State is in Montgomery. Have you ever had any inkling of going to play for those little bees, little stinging bees over there?
I did. That's my mom and dad, alma mater, and all my family went to Alabama State. But you have to start something new. You have to start something for yourself. So that's one of the reasons I came down here to Bethune.
Okay, so homecoming,
Yes, sir.
we playing them bees.
Yes, sir.
Your parents coming down.
They
What
coming
that's
down.
going to be like?
It's gonna be good. I know this is their alma mater, but I know they're gonna be in my corner. They want me to whoop them.
Now the question is, are they going to be wearing ASU paraphernalia? Or are they going to be wearing Bethune Cookman?
We ain't got no choice but to wear Bethune.
All right, now you got to let them know that.
Yes, sir.
Now let me ask you this question. And I think I've asked just about every athlete who's sat where you sat.
Okay.
This question: at what age did you know, like, I can play this game?
My mom, she put me in soccer when I was little. I was playing soccer. And I just was always too physical, too rough. And finally my dad, I think he taught my mom and got me in football, and it just came natural. It's just something natural. Like I said, it runs in the family. Football came natural. So it was just easy to go out there and hit, run, be physical.
Now, have you always been a defensive down lineman?
No, I haven't. I used to play quarterback in Little League, linebacker. I was all over the field. Athlete when I was smaller.
So you moved up till you put your hand down.
Yes, sir.
Hey, will we see you at fullback on the goal line?
That old refrigerator Perry.
That's up to Coach Sam. So we'll see.
Okay, before we let you go, I want you to look into that camera, and I want you to inspire every young kid in middle school and high school that want to play college football.
Just always keep in mind that people are always watching what you do. Everyone hears the motto, do the right thing when people aren't looking, and it is a real statement. You do the right things when people aren't watching. It's the little things that matter. The little things end up leading to big things. So, and you can do anything in life as long as you put your mind to it. You know, never knew where I'd be in life. Just prayed, kept my head down, and just kept the grind, kept going. So anything is possible in life as long as you keep God first, and you just go forward in life.
Okay, I'm going to ask that question again. What's your favorite scripture?
My favorite scripture is Hebrews 11:1. My mama, she drilled in. Well, I'll take that back. My favorite scripture is Psalms 23. My grandma, one summer I was staying with her in the country. She made me and my cousin, she drilled me and my cousin to learn it. I know the whole poem word for word. And it stuck with me for a long time still.
Number 57 in your program. He'll be a headhunter this Saturday against Grambling. Thank you for coming in, Reginald.
Yes, sir.
And we hope to have you back on the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sir.
Johnny, that's some beef right there, boy.
Look, I'm telling you, what I love about it is that our viewers get to see these young men from a different perspective. You know, a lot of times people think these men, that's all they do is play football. No, they have personalities, they have lives behind them, and they get to showcase it right here. And so that's what I enjoy. I love how he answered the questions. I love how he's able to articulate himself, you know? And so that's always being one of those type of players, that's always a sigh of relief for me. That he's there, and look, not every football player, not every athlete knows how to speak.
Absolutely.
So that's a refreshing coming from a person who has played at this level and has had to give interviews and different things of that nature. I was like, it warms my heart.
So we ready for your homeboy?
Nah, I ain't ready for him.
Ready for your homeboy?
Nah, I ain't ready
He
for
don't
him.
even know. He don't even know you his homeboy.
He don't even know,
He don't
bruh.
even know.
He don't even know.
Ladies and gentlemen, Our next guest is a guy, I've been watching him since he's been here. Matter of fact, I stopped him on the side of the gym one day and gave him a great compliment because he had done some spectacular things as a young player. To me, he's the playmaker on the Wildcats.
We're going to talk about
And he's the leader. So we're going to bring up number 2 in your program from Tallahassee Vickers High School. Let's bring up Mr. Riley. So how you doing, sir? Can you bring your microphone up to you and move your hand off the logo so we can see who we are right here? Okay, here we go.
Yeah, about you.
Hey, hold on. Just so y'all know, because we shoot this live,
Yeah,
so
we
y'all get all
just raw here.
Y'all get all the bumps and the bruises of this show. Dude, you gotta let a man transition, dude.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Oh, transition. Okay.
You gotta let Charles transition, man. Hey,
All right, Charles.
we can't
See,
make this
that's
stuff
because
up.
we don't have an earbud. We don't have our earbuds in.
This is live. This is happening right now. So y'all
Okay.
get the
So
the
where
real
are we now in the
stuff.
script?
Where you are.
Okay. Mr. Riley, first of all, welcome to the locker room.
Yes, sir.
A lot of guys on the team, tell me that you are a force. You are a leader. Tell us about that.
So I like being a leader. I like being the go-to guy. Coach Sims say, leader be the one that everybody look at when things going hard. So that's a good thing to be a leader.
You made a big splash right out of the box. Your best game you ever played was against your homeboys, the Florida A&M Raptors. You had 7 receptions for 98 yards?
Yes, sir.
But you should have had more than that.
For sure.
Guess why you didn't have more than that? Because he spiked the football once he got to the 5-yard line out of bounds.
Coach over there shaking his head.
But that showed your gamemanship. Tell us about what it's like being from Tallahassee and playing here.
It's really nothing though. I just want to play football somewhere that is like a home. You feel me? And I ain't want to be at home or somewhere I grew up at. I want to see new things. So I came down here with Coach Sims' family.
See that guy right there? That's your rival.
My rival?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Does the address 1717 West Tharp Street sound familiar to you?
Yeah, for sure.
What's that address?
That's the
Now don't say the name. Not in the
opposition. The opposition.
Nah.
The
So
opposition.
look. Okay, so what he's saying is that that's the rival high school I went to. Amos P. Godby, APG, Godby High School. Now look, I was doing my research. I had to do some homework on you, right? And what you did to us, oh, bro. Look, this man went for 556 yards by himself in a game
Wow.
against my old high school. Now, the crazy thing is, too, your head coach was my teammate here.
Coach Lewis.
Yeah. So we played, do you talk to him?
Yeah, I talk to him all the time.
I tried to call him today. I tried to give him a call. He didn't get back to me. But let me tell you something. When you see him, you tell him, I heard you was the ultimate vet. He never practiced. Never. Q was always ready for the game. But let me tell you, he was always in jersey and sweats. You could tell him I said it.
Yeah.
Ask him about it. He's like, what do he tell you about practice?
You gotta practice. He told me, you gotta practice to play.
He never did. So, so I need you to ask him. So, when you see it, when you talk to him, be like, so how you gonna tell me to practice? You ain't never practiced in college, and he gonna ask you. Just tell him Vic. Just say Vic. I talked to Vic today, and he said that you was King Vet, taking them vet days.
I'm gonna call him and see. I'm gonna definitely call him tonight.
Definitely.
Hopefully he answers my phone call.
Tell him he needs to call me though.
All
Man,
right.
but thus far, dude, you really getting it. In the online, you're listed as a quarterback, but you have some receiving yards, you have some rushing yards. Do you look at yourself as just a quarterback who's dual threat, or do you just look at yourself as an athlete?
I look at myself as an athlete, but I'm really a receiver though.
Receiver?
I play wide receiver here.
Did you play wide?
Yes, sir.
So right now, you're averaging just over 16 yards a catch and 8 yards a rush. What is that thing that gets you going for your game?
I don't know. I just love football. Just when it's time to play football, it's just time to go. It's just something about the pigskin that made me go.
What are some of the things that you use as far as your preparation? Like, what are some of the things, like mental reps, even on the field, that you do in order to get prepared?
I watch film. I watch a lot of film at home when I'm just laying down in the bed. Like, I really don't watch like TV at all. I don't got cable at home, so I really just watch film and football. Just football highlights on YouTube all the time. Just something with football. I just watch football all the time.
And my mainstay question: when did you find out that you understood, like, I can play this game, like, I'm good?
It was early, actually. Like, flag. I was playing flag football. I noticed that I was good then. Like, I noticed I had speed back then. Playing flag football, I was always like one of the fastest on the team. So basically early.
Early.
Yeah.
But Johnny, you had a taste of D1 football up in Louisville, didn't you?
Yeah.
Tell us about your trip to Louisville.
It was an all right experience, I guess. I guess it was a good experience because it was, I guess, Power 5 football, I guess. But I like it here. It's home. I feel like more home here. I ain't really get a home feeling there, so it's just about strictly being there. So here you get a family feeling and business. So
You made some plays this year. You had a great catch against University of Miami, and you made some plays last week. How close are we to breaking through with the offense?
real close. 2 days away, close. Real close.
Yeah, that's an answer right there. That's an answer.
2 days away, close.
Okay, tell us about your experience at Bethune Cookman University. What's your major?
I majored in IDS, interdisciplinary studies. My experience at Cookman been wonderful. Actually, I got to meet new people here. I met a handful of new people. I know I can call at any time. Whenever I need advice, they gonna help me. Whenever, like, all around, just basically, I was perfect experience actually.
Let me give you some knowledge. Bethune Cookman. Bethune was an all-girls school. Cookman was an all-male school, but it was in Jacksonville. And that school was a high school, but it was where the best athletes and the best musicians went. Today, Cookman would be IMG. So what happened with Mary McLeod Bethune combined Bethune and Cookman together. She was the first band director. So Bethune Cookman has always had great athletes, always had great football teams because of Cookman Institute.
Right.
Did you know that?
Nah, this is my first time hearing about
So
that.
Bethune Cookman is a college IMG now.
Yeah.
So what are some of the as you prepare, like, what are some of the things that you're thinking about? Like, what's the thought process right now? You know, it was a tough loss to South Carolina State, especially with the rain delay and, you know, the game getting pushed back a couple hours. So how are you preparing mentally this week for Grambling?
Basically just keeping all distractions out of the way. Just anything that ain't got nothing to do with Grambling, I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about who we play next week. I want to talk about who we play Saturday. Like, basically just focusing on Grambling, nothing but Grambling.
What is something that you're excited about this game?
It's been game day. Just trying to get there. Actually, just really antsy about getting to game day. It's really, I don't know. Everybody know I got a lot of energy, so I just be ready for game day.
So from the eyes, ears, mouth of one of the athletes, what do you say? What do you have to say to the Bethune Cookman faithful out there? What words of encouragement do you have for them?
We coming Saturday. We're gonna be on point. All 3 phases on point. So be there. It's gonna be a show.
All right, now, from being from Tallahassee, I ain't gonna hold it against you that you went to Vickers. Now, I'm from the old school. They wasn't the Raiders when I was there. You know, they was the Redskins from back in the day. So I ain't gonna hold it against you that you went there. You know what I'm saying? So knowing that you from the hometown, you definitely got my support,
right,
though. You definitely.
Number 2 in your program, Marcus Riley. Marcus, thank you for being in the locker room.
Sir.
We in transitions, huh?
We in transition
Right now. I'm learning. I'm new at this. I'm learning.
Running out the locker room, I'm laced up, and you know we keep it real. I'ma put my cleats on and I'ma beat you on the field.
We're back right here, and we're waiting on the head coach because he's ordering his wings right now. Hey. So, Johnny, you know, we got the Grambling Tigers coming in. You know, they played last week against Jackson State, and we had the opportunity to see that ball club, and they look very good.
Yeah, they came out. They were aggressive when they came out. However, you know, Jackson State outlasted them for a very big victory. But they are going to be a team that is going to come out. They're going to fight, and they're going to give everything that they have. So, of course, the Wildcats are going to come out and while Jackson State may give 100%, Wildcats going to come out here and give 120. I know that much.
The game is at 2 o'clock this week, not 4 o'clock.
Not 4 o'clock. Listen, to all our Bethune Cookman faithful, the game is at 2, not 4.
And it's Greek week.
Hey, I might just have to come out and, you know, wear that black and gold for a little bit before. Hey, coach, listen now. You know what time it is. Come on, you know what time it is.
One of the colors, right?
I got to wear that black and gold. Come on now.
It's one of the colors. Right?
Nah, both the colors. Both of the colors. They
little royal purple, little old gold, but
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the unlocked locker, which is behind him, Coach Terry Sims. Coach, I have some questions that was emailed to me. They're the good questions. And the first one comes from an alumni fan. It says, Coach, you spent time in the MEAC and you've coached in the SWAC even before you came to BCU. Which school, in your opinion, has the best facilities? And what's the word on the upgrade to BCU facilities that you told us about that help with the Miami Dolphins?
Jesus. Okay. Well, if you're talking about the best facilities right now, it would have to be Prairie View. It's the newest facility, and it's great. New locker room, new practice facility, new stadium. Everything's new out there. So Prairie View would be it right now. An update on the stuff from the Dolphins is here. And for all our fans, there, and there, if you're watching, we're just waiting on a building to put the stuff in. And, you know, we talk about being great, we talk about being competitive, but at the end of the day, there has to be support. And it takes money to make money. You know, we have a lot of young men that are out every day working hard. They're doing the right things on and off the field, but they can't do it by themselves. And when we go visit these other stadiums, we go visit these other campuses, these guys deserve the same thing. They deserve the same facilities, but one thing we don't do, and we don't allow them as coaches to do, we don't worry about what we don't have. We're going to be the best us we can be. We're just going to keep our head down and work, and when the smoke rises, we'll see who ends up on top. So we're not complaining, we're not moaning and groaning. All we're doing is asking our fans to make our jobs just as important as yours.
Okay, that's a good, Coach. Second question comes from Jill in Jacksonville. Coach, we've seen teams around the country struggling with the portal and compliance, and some with eligibility. Your team had 49 players make the SWAC honor roll, 3.5 grade point average or more. How has that brought light to your recruits and their parents?
Well, it's first and foremost, they're called student athletes. So you're in school to get a degree. And, you know, we talk to our players all the time. Football is your vehicle to getting your education. So we make sure our guys take education serious. And I tell any guy that visits Bethune-Cookman University, if going to school, if education is not important to you, then this may not be the place for you. And our guys understand if they get in any academic trouble while we're at practice, they're in study hall. Because if you allow them to play 4 or 5 games down the road, they're not going to be able to help you because they'll be ineligible. So we make sure that we take it very seriously. I cannot say that it's just us. It's the university. It's our administration. It's everyone working together to make this thing work. And, you know, first and foremost, it's about the young men putting forth the effort and taking it serious and making sure that education is important to them.
Okay, Coach, this is my question. How many fingers do you see?
I see 5.
Well, tell us about one, coreless fingers.
Listen, and you probably should have asked these two guys. Our strength coach is different. You know, she does things differently than I've seen a lot of places. I've been at, 8 different schools. This is my 9th one in 29 years. And I have seen a lot of strength coaches come and go. She's great at what she does. She doesn't play with these guys. And I have a quick story. I remember when Corliss, we first hired her. She had her first running session out on the practice field. I drove my truck around, and she said, "Coach, why are you out here?" I said, "I just want to make sure everything goes okay." She said, "Just stand right there." And we had an offensive lineman from South Carolina at the time. He was probably 6'6", 6'7", about 330. He started jogging while everybody else was running. And I hope compliance is not watching. She ran and jumped in his chest and put both her feet right on his thighs. And she said, "If you don't move, you won't like what's going to happen next." I got in my truck and left. I didn't need to be there because she can handle her own, and she's done that for years. And our guys know she'll laugh and joke with them. She's going to be mama with them. But when it gets serious, she's going to be serious with them. And I think it's a mutual respect between players and coaches. And I think at the end of the day, she has that.
But she's the strength coach for every sport too, isn't she?
Yes, she is. And you know, she just got another assistant. She's had Coach Whitener James. He's been here for a while. She just got one more assistant. She's doing a phenomenal job with all these sports. Alone with 2 assistants now. I can't say enough good things about our strength and conditioning program and those 3 people that are down there running it.
Okay. We talked about the Jimmies and the Joes. Let's talk about some X's and O's. And we played the number 16 team in the country. We played the former HBCU national champions, South Carolina State. What's your assessment of where we are right now?
Honestly, we didn't play fantastic football. We didn't play as clean of a brand of football as I would like, but I don't dislike where our team is right now. I think, you know, playing University of Miami, it increased our team speed. I think we got a little lax, and I take that when we played South Carolina State with the lightning delay. We should have been used to that because for the last 3 weeks, that's been what we've been doing anyway. We probably had 1 full day of practice each week for the last 3 weeks.
Wow.
With the lightning delays. But that's not an excuse for us not to play football the way we're used to playing football. And that's what I tell this football team. We're not going to accept penalties. We're not going to accept MAs. We're going to go out and play Wildcat football.
So you mentioned the week of South Carolina State, you all maybe got a day and a half of practice in. So last week was the bye week, and this week, of course, you're preparing for Grambling. How has the weather held up for you all in these past 2 weeks?
Last week was a little the same thing. I think we got all together out of 4 days last week. We may have gotten 2 days, 2.5 days total of practice without, you know, having to stop for lightning. But this week it's been good. Last week we went back to our square one. We started back from things we installed in camp. We did a lot of individual drills. We cleaned up a lot of things that we saw as coaches that we were not doing well, whether it be from lack of practice, lack of focus, whatever. We didn't worry about all that. We just knew we had to fix it. And this week we've had good weather with our practices. We've gotten 2.5 days in, 3 counting what we did today. So I'm happy about where we are. We practice fast. We practice clean. Excited about what I'm seeing. It looked like our old football team. So we're excited about that. We're anxious to get to the game on Saturday and put a product on the field that our fans can be proud of.
So when the weather does get inclement, like it has been over the past several weeks, what adjustments do you do as far as practice and whatnot?
Well, again, without having a practice facility on campus, you can't do what you normally do and go in the gym and walk through or whatever. So with us, if it's a lightning delay, some point in times we'll go under the enclosure by the concession stands and walk through there until the trainers kick us out of there because the lightning is still getting so bad. We just have to sit and wait. And if it allows us to go back out in the field, we go. If too much time passes by, then we have to get them back on campus so they can eat before the cafeteria closes. Then we'll bring them back over to the office and meet and watch film. But the only way you get better at this game is by playing it. You can't have meetings and draw on the board and watch film but so much. You have to get reps in. You have to do the things that you're showing them on film and showing them on the board. You actually have to put it to work out on the football field to get better at it.
Do you feel that that delay, that lightning delay that we had on Saturday against South Carolina State had anything to do with some of the play on Saturday? That did it affect the team at all for it being almost a 3-hour delay?
Well, I mean, like I told the guys before, when we came back in, they were on the same lightning delay. So we're not going to use that as an excuse. And again, we have had to deal with this for the last 3.5, 4 weeks. So if anyone should have been ready for that, it should have been us. So we're not going to use that as an excuse. We just did not play well, and that's on us as coaches. And I won't ever blame a player for anything. And I'm not going to hang it all on the assistant coaches. At the end of the day, it falls on me. I have to fix it, and I believe we have this thing fixed where we can go out and play Wildcat football on Saturday.
Here's a question from Stacy in Miami. You play 3 quarterbacks. So what do you know about each one now that you can implement them into the game?
Well, I think all of the guys have a different skill set. They bring something different to the table. And anyone that has watched us in the last 12, 13 years understands we've always had a 2-quarterback system. 2 years we had a 3-quarterback system. So with us right now, we're trying to find the guys that will give us the best opportunity to win games. And right now, we're giving guys reps. We're trying to play guys that are going to put us in the best possible position to win football games. Right now, Jalen is that guy. He'll run out first. And then we'll play the other 2 guys as we see fit.
You got Hugh Jackson coming in with the Grambling Tigers. Hugh is well known from being in the NFL, and now he's at HBCU. So how do you feel about these HBCUs hiring these guys out of the NFL?
I mean, my thing is I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. It's not my call. I don't really get into they shouldn't hire them, they should do this, they should do that, because I need that wind to live. I need that breath to live. What I say won't matter anyway. What I will say is having guys hired like that, if they're in the right places with the right resources, they can do a lot to elevate our games, period. And I'm not talking about on the field. I'm just talking about the platforms that they can put in front of these student athletes to help them move forward. And it's not just about them coming and taking over. Am I saying every HBCU should hire an NFL guy? No, because every HBCU is not willing to do what it takes to support that. And I don't think every HBCU should try to do everything that Jackson is doing, everything that Grambling is doing. I think you should take what works for your program, and if it does work, you use it to help move your program forward. If it doesn't work, move forward with it, with what you're doing. You can't try and do everything they're doing, because again, everything that they're doing is not free. Some things people are giving them, but a lot of things it takes money to do those things. And right now, if you are doing things that is helping you be successful and you understand your program and your landscape, then you have to keep doing that to keep giving your guys an opportunity to be successful.
This offense that we run is known to be very high flying, putting up numbers, putting up yards. However, over the past couple of weeks, we've been in the red zone a few times, have been able to capitalize. Third down conversions have been down. What adjustments have you been making in order to get the offense back on track? Well,
I think it starts up front, and we had some issues with our offensive line, just with some guys being injured, not being full strength, some guys not even being in the lineup. We have 2 of those guys back now that will add a little bit more stability to our offensive line. I think once that happens, and with this great week of practice that we've had, I think we'll show people who we really are. That's been a kind of a thorn in our side for the last couple of weeks, just trying to piece guys together to get them out there to make it look like a football team. But now I look at it, and I've watched practice this week, and it looks a lot different.
Now, I try to keep my ear to the streets the Bethune-Cookman streets as much as possible. And after the South Carolina State game, I went on social media. I saw some grumblings. Oh, here we go again, and whatever else the case might be. What would you say to people who are naysayers who are right now, even in the second game of the season, may be doubting the team right now?
How much have you given? If you support, if you give, you can grumble, you can come to my office and sit down and tell me everything you think we need to be doing. If you're not supporting this football program or you're not supporting this athletic department, why are you talking? And that's just the way I feel about it, because they don't know what these young men have to put up with and go through week in and week out. People that hide behind social media, and I don't care who likes me or dislikes me for saying it, you're a coward. If you have to say something, come say it where we know who's saying it. Don't hide behind a screen name on social media. Let's call it like it is. Everyone wants to talk about Jackson. They want to talk about Grambling. They want to talk about this school and that school. Well, look at what their alumni is doing. Because if I'm not mistaken, last year, and I don't live in the past, but we beat both of those teams. We beat Jackson in the MEXWAC Challenge. When they were having some issues, we beat Grambling last year. It's all about support. And until we understand that, we'll continue to down each other. We'll continue to talk about each other. But if you're really a Wildcat, if you're really a supporter, then show that. And it's not all about money all the time. Come give us some of your time. Come and donate time. Come and talk to these young people. Come and help them move forward in life.
Coach, you talked about social media. How has the locker room, what have you heard about the locker room out there, what we're doing here?
I think what you guys are doing is excellent, because you're bringing the real to what's going on in college athletics, not just football, but all athletics. You're bringing the real out in what's going on with the university, so people understand Bethune-Cookman is not what we were a couple years ago. And you guys have had administrators on, you've had people on that can tell those stories and tell the truth about what's going on. So I love what you guys are doing. And I told you I'll help support in any way I can, because I believe in what you're doing. And that's why every week, when you need me, you need players, we're here, because you're helping us just as much as we're helping you.
I think one time we were in Indianapolis and I was sitting in the lobby and you walked by and I was talking to the team. I told you where I came from tonight. Yes. I'm a motivational speaker, and I want you to give me a platform. Sometime this season, I got something I want to say to the team if you ever give me that opportunity.
Well, I tell you what, let's put you on the spot on the big game, baby. You got homecoming.
Thank you. Ooh, Lord Jesus.
Coach, your confidence about Saturday?
I'm always confident. I'm taking us, I don't care who it is. And I'll tell anybody that any day. I have never not been a confident person. That's just who I am. Some people may say you're cocky. I'm not. I'm just confident. I'm going to always believe in me. I'm going to always believe in my guys. So I'm confident that we're going to go out, we're going to take care of business on Saturday and do what we need to do to be successful.
Coach Terry Sims and the BCU Wildcats, 2 p.m. in the jungle against the Tigers. I mean the Tigers of Grambling.
We're free.
I'm laced up, and you know we keep it real. I'ma put my cleats on and I'ma meet you on the field. Cause we running out the locker room. Running out the locker room. We running out the locker room. Running out the locker room. I'm laced up, and you know we keep it real. I'ma put my cleats on and I'ma meet you on the field. Cause we running out the locker room. Running out the locker room. We running out the locker room. Running out the locker room. I'm laced up, and you know we keep it real. I'ma put my cleats on and I'ma meet you on the field. Cause we running out the locker room. Running out the locker room. We running out the locker room. Running out the locker room. I'm laced up, and you know we keep it real. I'ma put my cleats on and I'ma meet you.
We're back here at the Locker Room Podcast. It's been a day for me, man. I lost one of my best friends today, and I didn't come here really in the right frame of mind, and it's been crazy, but we got what we wanted out of the podcast, John.
Yeah, we did. Look, y'all, like I said, we are live, and so you will catch all the bumps and bruises that happen
And the
right here.
outtakes.
And the outtakes that happen right here at the Midtown Cafe. You know what? That's what we said. Look, y'all, if you need a great place to get some great food, you need to come here to Midtown Cafe Daytona.
I'm telling you.
What'd you say, Coach? All day long. All day long. And let me tell you something. If you get the smoked wings with the tropical sauce, I promise you, it'll change your life. I heard somebody say it.
All the food's good.
Hey, look, all of it. But I love the wings. Look, let me tell you something. I heard somebody say, them wings, they either bind you up or set you free, whichever one you needed to do at the time.
But I think they're running a special, $1 wings and $2 drinks, doing Thursday night football. Like
Doing
right now,
Thursday
the
night
Steelers
football?
are playing the Cleveland Browns.
That means people need to come here and get to Midtown Cafe Daytona. I'm telling you, atmosphere is great. Owners are great. The food, great. Don't miss out.
Tomorrow we're going to be over in a historic Moore Gymnasium. The women's volleyball team's playing FAMU. And we're going to get an opportunity to talk to Coach Brittany Williams over there.
Now, I have been a volleyball fan since my days here at Bethune Cookman, and it is just wonderful. I've seen girls who've come in and become like record setters with 1,000 kills or more. I remember the first time we beat FAMU in Moore Gymnasium. So it's always an exciting time, an exciting match for the young ladies who play that sport. And please come out. They need your support. We just had Coach Sams talk about the support. It may not always be financial. It may be you coming into that gym and cheering those girls on. So y'all need to come Moore Gymnasium and do what? Cheer these young ladies on, especially if they're going against our arch enemies. FAMU, let's go, right? Hell Wildcats. Hell fam, hell no.
Okay. We got some other sports coming up. Coach Theus, he's brought in some great guys. Basketball is just around the corner. What do you think about the basketball team?
Man, it's always exciting, right? We have Coach Theus going into his second season as the head men's basketball coach, and he's going out there and he signed some guys, and I'm really excited to see who's going to be stepping on that court come this October. And seeing what we'll do in the SWAC. I think he's handled the transition fairly well, because typically when you transition from one conference to another, or even if it's transitioning from one school to another and you're a new coach, that can take a little time, right, to kind of get used to the atmosphere, the culture, and different things of that nature. But I think he's handled it pretty well. So I can't wait to see the adjustments he's made and how he's filled some of the spots for the seniors that left last season.
Coach Creighton, she came in from Kennesaw. She had a decent season, but she's revamped her team too, the women's team.
Yes, I am really a Coach Creighton fan. I love how she interacts with her team. I love how she coaches them up. It's always positive. It's always a coachable moment. There's never just a thing where she's going off. She's always trying to make sure that her players know what they did wrong and how to correct it. So I'm a Coach Creighton fan, and I know it was rough last season, but I think that she's going to be headed for some big things in the SWAC.
Minor league baseball is over. The Tortugas are gone. So the Wildcats are back at Jackie Robinson Park. Coach Jonathan Hernandez and that Wildcat baseball team.
Listen, the Wildcat baseball team has always been a team that has put on a show. How many championships they've won?
When Murphy was here, it was 17 in a row.
Like more rings than fingers out there, right? And I think that with the new coaching changes and what have you, they'll still be on their way to doing what they've always done, and that is win. It's a winning team with a winning tradition. Banners used to be hanging through the athletic department with all the years that you won, and shoot, by this time they filled up a couple of banners. So you can always expect greatness coming from the Fighting Wildcat baseball team.
So we got some news this week about our track coach. Tell us about Coach Coop.
Coach Cooper, unfortunately, has left
the building,
the great Bethune-Cookman University, and has gone back to coach at his alma mater, South Carolina State. And you know what? I can't blame them, because there's always something in us to be able to go back to your alma mater and coach. Like, even after I graduated, there was something in me that was like, maybe I should go back to Tallahassee and coach at Godby. Is Riley still here? No, he's gone. But I thought about it, going back up. But there's always something, because you always want to give back to the place that gave to you, that imparted to you. And so I can't blame him. We wish Coach Cooper the absolute best. He came in, made this team a championship team, both on the track and cross country levels. And so South Carolina State got a great coach.
Let's give the folks a sneak peek at some stuff we're going to do down the road. We're going to do a special at historic Moore Gymnasium. Do you know the number of celebrities and people who've graced the stage?
I don't know everybody, but I do know Dr. King spoke in Moore Gymnasium once. Aretha Franklin? Did she come through?
She came through. Julian Bond.
Shaquille O'Neal was there when his mother graduated.
Shaq.
Miss Lucille O'Neal. He's been in Moore Gym. Oh, man.
What about George Clinton, Parliament Funkadelics,
George Clinton.
the Barcades, Kool and the Gang?
Johnny Cochran, the late Johnny Cochran. He's been a speaker at graduation in Moore Gym. And so, I mean, Moore Gym has seen more than its fair share of notable, would you call them celebrities, athletes, actors, politicians, come through its walls. And so, it's always exciting to go into Moore Gym, because there's nothing like the atmosphere of Moore Gym.
I was going to ask you, what do you think? I love Moore Gym. You got these schools now with these chair back seats, and air conditioning, but Moore Gym, it's almost like the little Camden Indoor.
Look, let me tell you something. So it's one of those things where, okay, we've all been to the big arena experiences, right? I had a chance one year traveling with the men's basketball team, and we went to Manhattan, Kansas to play Kansas State. Beautiful basketball facility, but there's something about those small gyms where the fans are right up on you, and you hear the cheering, you hear the booing, you hear the heckling, that just takes it to another level. For notable, you have what? Duke, right? The Cameron Crazies, right? Mm-hmm. And man, electric. But I'm telling you, Bethune Cookman, Moore Gymnasium, man, they got some electricity of their own in there.
So tomorrow night, we're going to be in the historic Moore Gymnasium watching the basketball team. Everybody wear black. It's going to be a blackout. It's the first home game for the women's volleyball team.
And you better come out, because we are playing FAMU.
Who?
Exactly. From they say the highest of 7 hills. I don't know. Maybe the highest of 7 molehills. We talking trash. Look.
We love y'all. We love y'all.
Listen.
Yeah, we do.
Let me tell you, for those, if you don't understand HBCU culture, if you don't understand HBCU rivalries, it's like brothers and sisters. You can talk trash about them all you want to, but don't let anybody else say anything about them, or we will have a fit, because I have seen people come and try to say what they wanted about FAM and Bethune-Cookman family was right there to be like, nah, you're not a part of this conversation. You need to fall back a little bit. So, but be there to support these young ladies. First home game of the season, we want to make it a memorable one.
Before we go on, I want to piggyback off that. My family, my mother is from South Carolina. She went to South Carolina State as a true freshman. They moved to Florida, and she went to Bethune-Cookman the second semester. From there, she went to FAMC. She was roommates with Nattiel Gibson, a famous tennis player at FAMU. Uh-huh. So my mother went to BCC, South Carolina State, and FAMU. That's crazy.
That's a lot of HBCU legacy right there. So if you got that one, how about this? Dr. Bethune recruited my grandmother.
What?
My grandmother was attending FAMC. And Dr. Bethune, she had a chance to speak with Dr. Bethune. Dr. Bethune recruited her, and she transferred to Bethune-Cookman that next year. And of course, the rest is history, because Bethune-Cookman is where she met my grandfather. So
let's do something called Let's Call Them Out. Let's call them out. Homecoming, we're going to have a podcast right here. And I would love to see Larry Little. Larry Little, where are you? Who would you love to see here?
Oh, man, for homecoming, I would love to see Shine. Alvin
The
White.
GOAT.
I would love to see the GOAT come back through here for homecoming. That's the person I would love to see. What about
Wesley Moore. Coach Wesley Moore, where are you?
all-time sack leader Stevie Baggs, paging Stevie Baggs? We need to see you in Daytona.
A former Dallas Cowboy that played for Bethune University, Leon Beanie Gonzalez. Where you at, Beanie?
Now, a gentleman who I haven't seen since he was inducted into the BCU Hall of Fame, Rasheem Mathis.
Oh, Sheen, number 16.
Number 16.
I would love to see that kid again. What about former Detroit Lion defensive back, John Bostic?
Okay. All
JB,
right.
where you at, JB?
All right. Let's see. One of these days, hopefully for homecoming, I'm going to call it out anyway. Former athletic director Lynn Thompson. Let's talk to him.
Little turkey. He's probably watching us.
Probably.
He's grading us, and he's grading us too tonight. Yeah.
Hey, please, I'll settle for a B this time around, Lynn.
We're going to have a great podcast homecoming. We're going to have some surprises. You know, we're reaching out to these people. The Locker Room podcast, like we said before, is a bridge. We're not here to bash Cookman. We're not here to talk about what shoulda, coulda, because there are no arms on these chairs, is it?
No.
So we're not armchair quarterbacks.
No.
What we want to do is we want to bridge the gap of Bethune-Cookman and their former students and players.
And also one of the things too is we don't want to give people the easy way out. We also want to ask those questions that people want asked as well. Not as an attack on any coach or any player, but one, to strengthen them because they're going to be interviewed many times in their life and they need to know how to answer questions. But two, because people want to know. People want to know what's going on. People want to know some of the behind the scene things that they may not see. And of course, this also helps puts down speculation. Well, it seems like this. Well, it seems like that. Well, you don't even have to worry about that. Why? Because we're talking to the horse's mouth right here. Like we're getting it from the players. We're getting it from the coaches. So there's no middleman. We take out all the middleman for you. You don't have to read the newspaper. All you have to do is tune into the Locker Room and you get your news and what you want to know about Bethune-Cookman football, athletics, right here.
After tonight, I am a Reginald Pearson fan. I love that kid, man.
I can't wait to see this gentleman. This young man, he seems like he's ready to go for Saturday. Him and Marcus seem like they're ready to go for Saturday. They understand that they've faced some adversity over the past couple of weeks. It did not go as planned, specifically with the weather. They had to adjust. They can only do like Coach Wyatt. Just talking about, like Coach Wyatt would say, we do not let what we cannot do interfere with what we can do. And so all they have done is, look, we're put in this situation. We still have to work through it, but they still seem excited. Like there's still a lot of confidence, a lot of fire in these young men, and they are ready to go for Saturday.
Roger Jackson. Where are you, Roger Jackson, former defensive back from the Denver Broncos? We need Roger the Dodger homecoming.
But you know what? We also need some of these record holders in other sports too. Like I'll call out Melissa Sanders. She's one of our 1,000 kill record holders from volleyball. I haven't seen her in years, and so we need some of these people. We want all of you all to come back. We want to know what you all are doing, and we want to give you, like they say, we want to give you your flowers. We want to give you your flowers now. And so this is a time that reach out to us. I gave you all the email, lockerroom@gmail.com. Email us. Email us your questions. Email us if you're going to be in town. And, hey, we'll try to get you on the show. And that's not lip service. That's, like, for real. What happened? First episode, Coach Terry was supposed to be here. He had an emergency, but who was in the house? Coach Harold Lucas. And he came in and filled in, and he was able to give us some some gems about him, the university, and just different things that he's doing in the community, his foundation. So it always works out. And that was the shortest of short notices that we could. That was minutes before we went on there. So we want to see our alumni come back, our athletic alumni.
Before we go, I want you to look in that camera and you inspire some alumni.
Listen, over the past 3 episodes, you've heard from Coach Terry Sims. You've heard from his players, whether they came straight out of high school or they're transfers. You have heard from people who have worked at Bethune-Cookman. You have heard from people who have been affiliated with Bethune-Cookman for over 60 years. Bethune-Cookman has a rich history. Bethune-Cookman has the lawyers, the doctors, but we still need you. We still need your support. We still need your love. We still need your giving, whether it's financially or whether it's of your time. It all comes together to come and support our university. Because when it's all said and done, when we have passed away and have gone on, and the next generation comes, Bethune-Cookman still will need your support, and that's all we are here to do. So, hey, we're telling you how to give your support, whether you're going to watch here, subscribe, like, follow, all on social media, right? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, but we need you. This cannot happen without you. This cannot happen without our community. And let me tell you, those young men that step on that field, those young women that step on that field in those courts, they need you too. So come and support, all right? And we'll be looking for you very soon.
Let's give a shout out to our engineer over here.
Oh man, look. We only the faces. This is 30% of the work. The other 70 you don't even see. So we have to give a shout out to our main man, Bishop Charles Smarr. Bishop Charles Smarr, dog.
Former horseman.
A former Bethune-Cookman horseman, drum major. Yeah, man. You know what? I forgot something.
What's that?
We'll have to try to catch Coach Terry, but I'm going to do something. This is personal. I'm going to look into this camera right here. Get me on this camera. I want to wish my daughter, Amira Joy, a very happy 10th birthday. She'll be turning 10.
Happy birthday, Mary.
On Saturday.
Oh,
so
she need to be in the in the walk with the football team holding Miss Bethune.
So she's one of my baby girls. She loves basketball. She loves sports. She's into the arts and different things of that nature, like literal art. She likes to draw, paint, and she loves coming to Bethune-Cookman games, and that's one of the things that I've loved about Bethune-Cookman, right? You heard some of the young men say it's like a family here. Well, ever since you said it earlier, you were raised on this campus. I was raised on this campus, and now I am raising my kids on this campus. So Bethune-Cookman is like family, and I bring my family here all the time. We're going to be supporting the Lady Wildcats tomorrow.
Absolutely.
In Moore Gym.
Moore Gymnasium. I think our next podcast is what? Jackson State game?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next podcast with is going to be Jackson State. Remember, it has been moved to Jacksonville, TIAA Stadium, the Jaguar Stadium. And so we are really going to need your support. There was a lot of talk, and we'll talk about it with Coach Sims, about they disagreed with moving the game to Jacksonville. But nevertheless, the game is in Jacksonville, and we need your support in Jacksonville for that game. Jackson State, they're gonna bring their fans, they're gonna bring their band. But look, let me tell you something. Even though it's in neutral territory, Bethune-Cookman still has Jacksonville, and we need to see all alumni within at least an hour, 2-hour radius of Jacksonville at that game to cheer on our Wildcats against the Jackson State Tigers.
We're out of time, but we're definitely not out of sports. You've been watching the Locker Room Podcast right here. See you again.
Running out the locker